Cheers again. Hope you're enjoying a nice, relaxing Sunday. We did some running around in town today and got back, and I'm relaxing into the rest of my day. And I decided to pour. We got some new Belgian beers, and I thought it was like the dark enlightened, but when I poured it, it was just a regular triple. So wasn't what I was expecting, but I took a sip and I knew exactly right away what I wanted to pair with it, which is not what I was originally intending on smoking, but with the kind of with these trappist ales, some of the banana and clove lighter flavors like that, I just thought, man, it's got to go with a Virginia, like a nice, simple, high quality Virginia smoke, which then I got excited about because I also had been feeling like I had been neglecting my Nørding pipe. So I'm going to smoke out of my Erik Nørding. This is the um, Virgin spigot. Beautiful pipe. It's got some rustication around the top rim of the bowl. I love the floral kind of tulip-esque shape to it. Absolutely love this pipe. I'm a huge fan of the Nørding line of pipes. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to be smoking out of it another Byron Ventures blend. And this is the 2022 You're Welcome. Thanks. I mean, for real. It's a awesome tobacco. What a great name. And I love the medieval imagery of St. George slaying the dragon. Another thing to be grateful for. But anyways, yeah. So I ordered this right when it came out, and I smoked several bowls of it in the summertime, and I committed it to this jar for aging on July 16th of 2022. So this has had almost 6 months to sit and age, so we're going to see how it is. Now, I know I did the KBV's Mr. Christian's Brown Fleck. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can find it on the channel. I'm a big fan of Byron Ventures tobacco blends. They're just awesome. A wizard with the Virginias for sure. So if you haven't tried any, I highly recommend it. This one is just like a more matured version of the 2021 You're Welcome. And it's got brights, reds, and orange Virginias in it. And just a really nice, light, beautifully blended and flavorful Virginia smoke. So that's what we're going to have. I already loaded the bowl this time. I am watching a lot of these other pipers now that I seem to be getting more serious about posting videos for everyone. A lot of them take a break and load their bowl or have it preloaded. So save a little bit of time to kind of streamline these things so you guys don't get too bored of me. But I'm going to light this up. Now, this blend, from the instant you open the pouch, is just absolutely perfect and ready to go. It's on the drier side, and it's a ribbon cut, while still having enough moisture that it doesn't need any drying time before you pack it. You can pack it pretty tight, um, and it smokes beautifully. When I just want a nice, simple, middle of the day, honestly, this is even in the summertime. This is a really, really awesome blend to smoke with your morning coffee. In the summertime, I really like to have some of the lighter blonde roast coffees, and um, it's just the some of the lighter roasted coffees in the morning time in the summer. The way that it highlights the bright in the orange Virginias is just awesome. So, but anyways, it does take a few relights. Um, this is also one of my newer additions to my pipe collection. So I haven't quite mastered um, the packing of this bowl yet, but I really love this pipe. And I got one of those like soft bite things to put over it, which um, this was my first Nørding pipe actually, and I had always kind of wanted one, and of course I could have bought them online or whatever, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to wait until I saw one in person, and about a year ago, I was at the Tinderbox there in Dublin, Ohio, and I asked Paxton if he had any Nørdings. He's like, actually, I feel like we have one maybe. Well, this is it. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the one I've been waiting for. Which he thought was pretty cool. It just immediately upon seeing it, I was like, yep, I gotta have it. But yeah, I love this pipe. So this one, it's not super complex, right? It's just an all natural straight Virginia blend, and it's just a really nice light smoke. It's nice. It's got that light roasty flavor, really wispy light smoke texture and mouthfeel, and just a really very mellow, enjoyable blend. Now, some of the reviews with this, they wax poetically about all the citrusy and the tangy fruits and the bread and the hints of lemon, and I'm not saying it's not there with this one, but either I haven't sat with this one long enough to pick up on all that, or my palate's just not as sophisticated as some of these other Virginia smokers. For me, this one is just, it's like that really light side of dry hay, like hayloft. The way that a hayloft smells with like the clover and the alfalfa that kind of you got that sweet floral, but also really vegetal and grassy smells. That's sort of what I get from this. Um, Definitely really grassy for me. This is really um, an excellent blend in the summer, like I already said, and that's normally when I have it. But I just thought it would go really well with this beer, and I ended up staying up last night until like 2:30 in the morning, just pounding bowl after bowl of heavy latakias and drinking wine. So, although I will never tire of heavy Balkans and Englishes, just didn't seem like what I wanted right now. Didn't seem like it would go very well with this beer. I guess if I really sit with this, at the very, very end, if you like touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, I almost get the faintest, like kind of like lemon oil, like if you like lemon zest. That's what I want to say. Yeah, where it's like the more like oily, kind of like bitter side of the citrus part of a lemon flavor. I guess I can get a little bit of that at the end, but a lot of floral, grass, and hay um, notes going on. To be quite honest, I feel like I might not have packed the bowl tight enough. Let's see if I can get it going a little bit better here. And then I want to tell you guys a little story. I also, yesterday in the mail, 2 more tins of Innerdale. I love this stuff. If you haven't tried Innerdale, try it. If you want my take on it, I did do a video about it, so you can watch that if you care to. But Innerdale is a mystical blend for sure. Okay, so I want to share something with you guys uh, that happened to us today, and by us I mean my family, myself, my wife, and my daughter. Um, we've been kind of lazy grocery shoppers lately, and there was only 3 slices of bacon, 2 eggs, no butter. So we said, okay, we're obviously going out to eat for breakfast today, and there's this really awesome uh, local spot that my grandmother has taken us to a few times, and it's called Hand and Fork or Hand Over, something like that. I've only been there a few times, but it was pretty good, and so we decided to go there. And so we're sitting there, full house, and our waitress was an older gal, probably older than my own mother, and just racing around, like busy beyond belief. And where her, like front, I guess like apron, kind of waitress apron where you put like your notepad or your pens or whatever, some extra napkins, it kind of slid down, in the bottom front tail of her dress shirt had kind of like slidden up and was open, and her stomach was exposed. And I didn't notice it at first, but she takes our coffee order and stuff, and my wife leans over and says, I feel bad for our waitress. And I said, why? And she told me that, and I saw her run around just completely oblivious to it, right? And I said, well, why didn't you say something? She said, why didn't, how do I say something about that? And so I just decided, well, I'll say something, worst thing that happens is she'll be offended, whatever. Um, but I could see her going to all these different tables and helping all these people, and nobody said anything to her. But it was kind of obvious, to everyone except for her. And so when she came back to take our food order, I tapped her on the arm and told her, come here, and I whispered, and I just said, now, I don't want you to be embarrassed when I tell you this, and don't react to it, um, but your shirt has hiked up and has come undone, and you are exposed at your midsection. And she just looked down and looked at me and was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And she, dealt with it in a perfectly classy way. Didn't look down, didn't draw any extra attention to it. And she walked off and came back, coffee refill and all that. She leaned down and she said, thank you so much for telling me. And, got me thinking, the way that society has been going these days, especially the younger generations, um, people see things going on and they don't say anything about it. They don't acknowledge things when they should give a compliment. They don't acknowledge things when it's not okay. They don't intervene if something's not okay. They don't give somebody a heads up. And, you look around, and it's like people see it and they'll say something about it and they'll kind of snicker, and it's almost like they'd rather just make fun than say something to the woman so that she can preserve her dignity while she's doing her job. And I just don't think that's right. I think you should speak up, no matter what it is. If you see somebody who you think deserves a compliment, or something that you appreciate about somebody, you should say it. If you see somebody acting in an inappropriate way, within reason, you have to use your own discretion to choose between, are you overstepping your boundaries of minding your own business, or should you actually say something? But there's a lot of times when you probably should. If you see somebody being rude or acting inappropriate in public, you should say something. Something like that, for example, give somebody a heads up, because I feel like I was able to say that to her in a way where she could maintain her dignity. She didn't feel embarrassed in front of me for saying it, and she was able to just go and tuck her shirt in and go about her day. Not a big deal, right? And so we finish our breakfast, and some guy walks over to us, and he just says, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys. I was like, And I was kind of thinking, okay, where is this going? And then he began to tell us that it's so rare that they see parents, new parents, especially younger parents, who are so attentive with their children that usually everyone's on their cell phone, or their toddler has some kind of electronic device, iPad, whatever. And, um, and then he said, I see that you're all covered in tattoos, and I'm covered in tattoos as well. And, we're supposed to be duds, more or less, according to society. And so he's like, so when I see how you and your wife are fully engaged with your daughter, it made me feel good and proud. And then he just reached down and scooped up our bill and said, and so I'm going to take care of this. He bought our breakfast. talk about, I don't know, karma, I guess, or something, coming back immediately, you know? And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is I think as men who gravitate towards some of the finer things in life, like smoking pipes, we have a certain responsibility to live up to the gentlemanly nature that is associated with sophisticated hobbies like smoking pipe. You know, um, take pride in who you are. Be a gentleman. Be upright. Be righteous and do righteous things. And speak your mind and be generous. And the three codes of conduct for the night: physical prowess, generosity, and loyalty. There's a lot of things that branch off of those three fundamental virtues, I'll call them: prowess, generosity, and loyalty. So, just wanted to share that with you, share that little story, because it was pretty cool. You know, I was not expecting that, and when you act correctly, I feel like just wonderful things will unfold for you that you didn't ask for and you didn't expect. And if we could all just tap into that more, that cycle of being upright and bold but classy and generous and virtuous. So that's my challenge to you as pipe smokers, to really adhere to those old world codes of being a gentleman, no matter what the rest of society tries to say today. And I'll leave you with that. Drink beer, be holy.